Hey everyone, it's Flakfire. If you absolutely love survival games, The Flame in the Flood is for you. The game is a survival game in the purest sense of the word. Surviving is not easy, especially when you're riding the river in post-societal America. As a player, you control Scout, a young girl looking to make her way through the world, or what's left of it. You're not alone on your journey either. Scout finds companionship in a dog named Aesop, and the two explore together, rafting down the river and looking for supplies. As you journey, you will have to keep a watchful eye on Scout's needs, her hunger, thirst, warmth, and fatigue. If any of these drop too low, Scout will die. You need to replenish these needs by eating food, finding water, equipping clothing, and sleeping, and there are many ways to do this. When rafting downriver, you need to keep Scout safe and dry, avoiding treacherous rocks and other floating hazards. If you run into something, your raft sustains damage, too much damage, and Scout drowns. You can repair and upgrade your raft at marinas, and there are other places to stop for supplies, like campsites and churches. Obtaining items in The Flame in the Flood is relatively straightforward and logical. For example, you need cattails to make rope, and rope makes a snare, with which you can catch a rabbit to cook for food and use its fur to make a pouch to expand your inventory. It's not always that obvious, and you do require some other items in this process, but it's easy enough to follow. The game is a very helpful guide to creating and unlocking items for the crafting process, and whenever you select an item, The Flame in the Flood tells you what you can do with it. I really enjoyed my time with The Flame in the Flood, but I have some reservations. The game is hard. Don't get me wrong, I realize we're talking about a survival game, but this is one of the most difficult and unforgiving games I have ever played, and I played on the easy mode. Because the path you take downriver is procedurally generated, you never know what you're going to find. This means you may or may not find what you're looking for when you hop off your raft at a stop, and this can be very frustrating. Making the game more difficult are wild enemies like boar, wolf, and bear. You can kill these enemies, but all too often you die before obtaining the means to do so. Boars make for good eating, but they'll also break your bones by charging at you. Similarly, wolves will bite you, leaving lacerations. Untreated lacerations become staph infections, and untreated staph infections result in sepsis. And it all goes downhill pretty quickly after that. It's hard to find the necessary materials in The Flame in the Flood to treat these conditions, and since it's procedurally generated, it's all up to chance. The art style in The Flame in the Flood is unique and melancholy, and the haunting soundtrack from Chuck Ragan invokes feelings of a time gone by. If Mark Twain's Tom Sawyer was set in post-apocalyptic America, it would probably look a lot like The Flame in the Flood. Overall, The Flame in the Flood is a very fun experience. You develop a sense of personal responsibility to Scout while you play, which makes it that much more upsetting when she dies. The developers, The Molasses Flood, even found a way to integrate some real narrative into the game with Scout's interaction with other survivors. However, many players will find The Flame in the Flood too difficult to be accessible. The Molasses Flood really needs to create a more forgiving difficulty level. Aside from that complaint, the game is wonderfully complex and challenging. The Flame in the Flood is available now on Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Steam for PC. If you enjoyed this review, please subscribe. There's always more on the way. Thanks for watching.